everyone, welcome to another live stream hosted by me, Mr. Philly. And today we got a good one for you today, guys. Today we got spicy buffalo chicken sandwiches with coleslaw. Oh, man, it's gonna be really, really good. So we did a lot of prep. There's a lot of prep involved with brining chicken and getting a good flavor with chicken sandwiches. So somebody told me a while back, a really good brine for chicken sandwiches, and this is what Chick-fil-A does. They brine their chicken in pickle juice. It's absolutely amazing. I've tried it before, and I did it for 6 hours tonight. I should have done it for 24 hours, but we didn't have too much time, so But there's also another marinade that I put it into for like 3 hours, which included buttermilk and then paprika, salt and pepper. And yeah, I think that's about it actually. So yeah, salt, pepper, and paprika, and 1 egg actually. So yeah. So now we're about to start on our buffalo sauce. So we already added into our first thing. The ingredients only takes 4 or 5 ingredients, and the first ingredient was Frank's hot chili sauce. Hot sauce, Frank's hot sauce. And our next ingredient is going to be a tablespoon of honey. So let's get started on that. We're really big into it already, so yeah, we've already gotten pretty close into our recipe, so yeah. All right, let's add our tablespoon of honey. Well, that's gonna take a minute. Oh, a second. Wow. Alright, tablespoon of honey is going in. Very slow. Slow like molasses, Alright, we got that at a low setting. Let's turn that down a bit. Hello, how you doing? Oh crap. Let's give that a mix. And our next ingredient is going to be, let's give that a symphony of flavor. Yeah, let's get that incorporated, that honey in there. There we go. Our next ingredient is a tablespoon of sriracha sauce. All right, let's add our sriracha sauce. I'm making spicy buffalo coleslaw chicken sandwiches. There's our next ingredient, our sriracha sauce, a tablespoon of sriracha. There we go. All right, let's get that flavor incorporated. Delicious, absolutely. Buffalo chicken sandwiches with coleslaw. We're gonna get that mixed in. And our last ingredient is going to be a tablespoon of butter. There we go. All right. And that's going to be it for our buffalo sauce that we're going to, dredge our chicken sandwiches after they're made. So, yeah. All right. So, as I said before, chicken sandwiches, chicken and brining chicken is a whole different ball game. I brine my chicken in pickle juice. I think that's a really, really good brine. If I'm, going to do a special chicken sandwich, which I did tonight. Well, I didn't brine it for 24 hours. It's only for 6 hours. So, yeah, 24 hours is always good. Pickle juice. And supposedly that's what Chick-fil-A does. But then we've also had a marinade that I marinated my chicken in right here. And it just consisted of, buttermilk chicken, or just buttermilk, and then paprika and some salt and pepper. So, yeah. Hello, Celtic fan. All right, so we're gonna let that marinate here for a few more minutes, and now we also have our dredge or coating, which is 2 cups of flour, and then some salt and pepper, and I forget what else, some onion powder. That's it. There we go. All right, so we're just gonna keep mixing that up there really quick. And we also got our oil here too, so which we're gonna fry our chicken sandwiches in. So yeah. Hello everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe. There we go. We got our buffalo sauce going there. Oh yeah, that's the color that we're looking for. Oh, I like that. A bright red with a little tint of orange. There we go. That sounds good. That's awesome. There we go. All right, we're gonna let that simmer here for a few. Give that a good mix. So let's give that a taste. That tastes like buffalo sauce. There we go. That's good. That's good. All right, now we're about to dip our chicken into the oil. We're making spicy buffalo chicken sandwiches with coleslaw. All right. Oh well, we're about to dip our chicken into the flour dry dredge here, really quick. All right, give me a moment. Let's turn the heat down on that. There we go. So we got our dry dredge here. Like I said, takes 2 cups of, for this recipe, it took 2 cups of flour, some onion powder, and some salt and pepper. All right, we're gonna take our chicken that we've already been marinating in our buttermilk marinade, and then give that a toss, or a couple 30 or 40. There we go. Do like Popeyes do, like 10, 30 times, no, like 28 times, I think. 28 to 30 times. There we go. And we could do a double dredge, but we're not going to do that for this recipe. All right, there we go. We got our chicken nice and dredged. Now we're going to add it to our oil directly. There we go. Go. All right. All right, we got 1 more here, 2 more here. Make sure every spot is evenly coated to the best of your ability. There we go. All right, add that to our oil. All right, we got 1 more from our pan that we're gonna add in there. KFC. Everybody needs a little KFC. There you go. All right. All right, that's our last chicken. We're gonna add that to our oil. Just add a little bit more oil there. All right. Well, that's going to be a few since they're still, you know, in the oil and they're going to be take a minute. So, all right. In the meantime, we're going to do some cleaning up, and you know, I'm going to ask, how's everybody's day going? Everybody have a good weekend or a good week? Anybody have any fun plans for the weekend? The only thing about chicken sandwiches when you make them, they make a little bit of a mess. You know, you got your what do you call it? You know, your flour and your dredge and all that fun stuff. You know. Sorry about that, guys. Hello, Cleopatra. Wait, no. Cleopatra Kamala. I hope I'm saying that right. I need glasses. I'm really sorry. Everybody have a good day at least. All that fun stuff. Everybody having a good weekend so far. I know I'm gonna have a great weekend just because, I know tomorrow or Sunday, we're making, a dish that I'm very, very proud of, and I say we because I know you guys are gonna, all you fans are gonna watch with me and, hopefully take inspiration from the recipe that I have. But I have a really, really great, oh crap, I got some sauce on my hands. I have a really great pumpkin cheesecake recipe, and I'm very, very proud. People ask me, what dish are you very, very proud of? I don't bake that much, but when I do bake, I make a mean pumpkin cheesecake. That's one of my signature baking dishes. But yeah, that's one of the recipes that I'm very, very proud of, and I'm gonna make it this weekend. So it's gonna be really, really good. So yeah, hope everybody watches. It's gonna be really amazing. So anyway. Sorry, don't mind me. I'm just cleaning around, you guys. When you make chicken sandwiches, it's a little messy, You got a lot of flour all over the place. So anyway. We got our chicken here in the oil, just cooking up a little bit and frying up. So it's going to be ready very, very, very soon. Go. There we go. Alright, we're going to start by dressing our buns that we're going to use for our chicken sandwiches. Whoop. That's what I meant to do. There we go. Favorite winter activity? That's a good one, it used to be sledding, but now I live in a state where there's not very many hills, so I don't know. Interesting question, I used to live in a state where there's a lot of hills and sledding and skiing was all over, but I live in a state where it's very flat now, so yeah. I don't know, that's a good question actually now. Favorite winter activity? No, I really like going to see Christmas lights actually before Christmas actually. Christmas lights are something that I really, really like actually, because I think that's a really cool hobby. Christmas lights. Those fancy places that you do walkthroughs with, Hello, Tuto Turpo. How you doing? What's new? How's it going? All right, so So here's our coleslaw. I really wanted to make my own coleslaw, but we were on the tick tonight, like we are always. I have two other full-time jobs, so it's tough. But anyway, but yeah, if you want to make your own homemade coleslaw, I would recommend that because it's a lot better than store-bought, and it tastes so much better, and it's actually very simple to make. It just takes some, cabbage, sliced carrots, and lettuce, and then of course distilled vinegar, and then sugar, and then you can play with that recipe. That's pretty much it, actually. So yeah, so we didn't have time, so we just bought our store-bought. Anyway, I am not a big coleslaw fan, but I'm gonna say, and that's one of the reasons why I like cooking. There's a lot of foods that I didn't like, but then I realized there's a culture to it where you can add one food to another and it actually tastes better. Coleslaw on chicken sandwiches is actually fire, and I love it. So that's why I had to try this recipe. All right, we didn't make our own. We did some store-bought because we just didn't have any time. So All right, let's toast these one at a time here. But anyway, how's everybody doing? Everybody doing well? Better watch your P's and Q's there, little troll child, because you're gonna get timed out. I'm not gonna put up with this. You act like a child, I'm gonna treat you like a child. I'm not in jail with you. You don't talk to me like that. I'm making spicy buffalo chicken sandwiches. All right, you need to talk to whoever you're locked up with these things, not me, okay? All right, you're going to get timed out. All right, time out for you, troll child. Oh, shoot. All right. All right, our chicken is there, frying up really well. We're gonna be done here quite soon, less than 30 minutes, I'd say. But no, to answer that question, my favorite winter activity used to be sledding and skiing, when I lived in mountains. But, I'd say my favorite winter activity now, going to see Christmas lights, Christmas shows, things like that, actually. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Alright, give me a second, guys. There we go. We got our chicken there boiling in our oil. So there you go. That's what we're waiting on. That's it. So there you go. Give me a second. I'm going to be doing some adjusting. Well, that's cool. I don't know where you're from, but you'd have to tell me where you're at, where you can still surf in the winter. That's kind of cool, though. I know it's past my bedtime, but you know, I had craving for some delicious chicken sandwiches, so you know, here I am. I could say the same about you too, Noah. I just had to share this recipe with you guys. That sounds kind of morbid, honestly. Well, we're getting there. We're just waiting on our chicken sandwiches to fry up really good. So yeah. I'm on a higher algorithm than you, obviously. Oh, sounds like somebody wishes they had a growing YouTube channel and wish they received money and donations from bigger content creators. I guess I would say the same if I was looking at something like that. Yeah. Actually, no, 420, and you're here too, helping giving me clout. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, and people like you are the reason why I grow. Oh, thank you very much, Rion. Rion Jones, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. You like to cook then? Rion Jones? Right. You don't mind cooking? Really? That's cool. Oh, that's cool. So do you have your own channel where you do sporting kind of content? Sports content? That's cool. Do you just watch stuff or do you post things too? Oh, okay, cool. Well, you're up pretty late. Oh, keep watching. Maybe you'll learn something. Whoop. Have a good night. Or day. I am from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. As it says in my bio. one coming up real quick here. I'm just going to demonstrate the one that's almost done here. Almost about to be done frying up. In other words, going to coat it in our spicy buffalo sauce, and then we're going to plate it on our chicken sandwich and our bun. And then I'm going to give you my taste test. I'm going to give you my thoughts and my ratings, all right? And the recipe will be in the description box below, so don't worry. Hello, Solar. How you doing? Alright, so we got one here done. Alright, so we're about to take our chicken right here. That's done, and we're going to baste it on our spicy buffalo sauce. There we go. Coat that evenly. Oh yeah, that's going to be really good. Let's coat that up really well. There we go. Alright. We got it evenly coated. There we go. Alright, now we're going to plate that on our sandwich. There we go. Alright. Alright, here we go. We got our hot honey chicken sandwich, and we're about to put those together. Alright. Alright, we might have to cut that in half actually. Put that aside, all the other ones. There. All right, hot honey chicken sandwich, spicy buffalo hot honey chicken sandwich. Taste this. Here we go. Wow. Wow. That definitely tastes like authentic buffalo sauce. And you got that coleslaw, which I love adding to, spicy buffalo chicken, because it just creates a perfect amount of balance between spicy, sweet, tang, and then flavorful, because I don't like coleslaw that much, but you add it to spicy buffalo chicken, oh my gosh, it creates a whole new symphony of flavors. Very great chemistry, and they complement each other so well. All right, well, this was a great recipe. I'm sorry I couldn't make my coleslaw from scratch. We were on the tick. I hope you guys got a good gist of the recipe, and the recipe will be in this description box below. Thanks everybody for watching. Great hanging out with you guys again. All right, everybody have a great night. Thanks for all the likes and subscribes. All right, and as always, happy cooking, everyone. This is 5 stars all day. Bye, everyone.